Welcome to another episode of the Strategies for the Workplace podcast. Before getting into the article, just a quick reminder that the book from which these articles are taken is now available on Amazon in print and digital Kindle format. Search for Strategies for the Workplace by Jeffrey Kahn. The book has over 220 articles and is a great way to get all the material without having to wait for the weekly podcasts. And now, on to this week's article. The checklist process. The success of certain multi-part tasks depends on every step being performed and in the correct order. Failure to perform everything or failure to follow the appropriate sequence can lead to poor or even catastrophic results. The best practice for such tasks is to develop and strictly follow a comprehensive checklist. For example, airline pilots follow a detailed pre-departure checklist. Although it may seem excessive to prepare a formal list, the process of creating the list among all involved generates buy-in and reduces the chance for missed or out-of-order steps. The checklist transforms implicit knowledge in the hands of the current team into an explicit artifact that can be used to train new folks or to be distributed widely to scale a process while maintaining consistency. The point is that the larger the downside risk, the more important the process. Let's apply this a bit. There is a time for experimentation and innovation. There is also a time for consistent, dependable performance. For example, whether you're developing a recipe for a meal, perfecting an industrial process, tuning a product packaging sequence, or solidifying the delivery of a consulting engagement, the precise ingredients and order of steps will be flexible. Once you have settled on a method, the focus shifts to reproducibility. A written checklist, strictly followed, is a great way to ensure consistent results. If multiple people are involved in performing the overall task, develop the checklist collaboratively and socialize the final result to establish collective buy-in. Note that in a distributed organization, perhaps with branch offices, franchises, etc., checklists help to protect the organization's brand through consistent processes. Checklists are also a useful training aid. In general, consider asking if a process should have a checklist and if the process is mature enough to develop the checklist now. If a process-related problem emerges, ask if there was a checklist. If there wasn't a checklist, perhaps you need one. If there was one, perhaps it is flawed or wasn't followed. The point is that if you have a multi-step process and consistency is important, develop and adhere to a checklist or have a great reason why you didn't.